Hey guys, what's going on? Yuri here, Better Than Yesterday, episode number 22, Better Than Yesterday. Today I have some props for you, and I'd like to utilize them right now. So this is a picture of Ferrari. Hope everyone can see that. It's a really, really fast car. I think everyone can agree on that. And why do I want to visualize that for you guys? So that you can keep that in your mind the whole time. And what's so special about that Ferrari is that it can only go 40 miles an hour. That is its max speed. At 100% of its performance, it can only go 40 miles an hour. That's pretty crappy for a Ferrari, and that's pretty crappy for being out in anywhere. You can't even go on a highway because the speed limit there is a lot higher than that. So with a little bit of tuning, we can get it to about 65 miles an hour so that we just increase it from that level of 100, which we thought was 100% of that max car, we got it to a little bit higher. And then with a lot more tuning or a little bit more tuning, we can get it to 100 miles an hour and even greater than that. So we can double that, what we conceived, what we thought was 100% of that capacity of the car, we increased it tremendously. Why am I using this example? Is because every one of us already has a Ferrari, and that is our own body. You have a Ferrari, and depends how you treat it, is how much capacity you're getting out of it. Are you getting 30 miles out of the car, which is the max, or you're getting 100 miles out of the car, and that is your max right now, and eventually you could take it to 200, right? The way I'm gonna cement this down a little bit more so it makes it a little bit clearer is I'm gonna use an example of how I started transitioning into eating healthier and eating better. And I've used this example before in my nutrition seminars, so here goes. I started, this was about 6-7 years ago, and when I started learning all this nutrition information, I started applying it. That's the best way to get the benefits out and the best way to figure out what works for you and what doesn't. I was eating organic for about a year, switching up all my food groups and starting to eat way healthier. So I started feeling better. And my lifts were starting to get strong, my deadlifts were strong, my squats were strong, everything else was feeling good, obviously working out pretty consistently. And then I decided to keep a food journal. And that's where I made a video before that for you guys to really keep track of your food. So I made a food journal, and once I wrote it down, I took a look at what I had written down, and I noticed that I wasn't eating enough vegetables and not enough fruit. And what I also noticed was I was eating a lot of grains. So grains could be rice, flours, any type of flour, so breads, and all the other grains that kind of go into it. Pastas, obviously, and crackers, all that good stuff. So I decided to cut that stuff out and substitute it with adding more stuff in, which is adding more vegetables and fruits in. So my goal was to add in 6 servings of vegetables in and 6 servings of fruits in, and totally cut out the grains. Now I did that for about a week, and that was an unrealistic goal. It's very difficult to make that transition without really staying away from all the grains. Actually spoke to my friend, my training partner at that time, Ryan. Shout out to you. Good advice on that one. He said instead of going cold turkey, cutting out grains, just do a little bit of gradually. And so I gave myself leeway as to do, I think at that time, was it like one grain meal a week, which was still not a lot considering what I was eating. And the whole goal was to obviously wean myself off and to add a lot more fruits and vegetables. And with fruits and vegetables comes a lot more nutrients. And that's what I was missing out of my diet after reading my food journal. Now, at that point, I was already eating healthy for a year. That's before I did my whole getting out of grains experiment. And I was eating organic, good quality food, and I was feeling amazing. I was feeling at 100%. I was feeling at my peak. What was that, 22 years old, 23 at that time. I was feeling good, and my lifts were awesome, everything else was going great. And then I went, for about 3 months, I went without any grains. I totally cut them out. I was weaning myself off once a week, and I was giving myself that leeway, but I wasn't using it. Like There was weeks where I didn't go without any grains whatsoever, and that's just to kind of make sure that I didn't have guilt trips for myself later. So 3 months down the line, after going grain-free, so no bread, no pasta, and lots more fruits and vegetables, obviously I'm still eating my everything else, which is good quality fats and good quality meats, I found a whole new level of energy. It was unbelievable. This was 100% for me before. I was way in excess. It's incredible to even, the best way to illustrate it would be, I was at 40 miles an hour, what my Ferrari was running at top speed, and then I went to 80 miles an hour. And that was my new high. And all my lifts went through the roof, and my training stayed the same. So obviously, the only thing that was changed, because everything else was taken care of. My eating was good at that point. Then I increased it. My drinking of hydration water, that was taken care of. My sleeping was on point. So all the other lifestyle factors were taken care of, and obviously my training stayed the same. And that's why I know that just making that one little tweak helped me big time. Now, I'm not saying for you to cut out grains. For me, it worked wonders, and I think it could help a lot of people. And I noticed right away, if I have a grain the next day or the next meal, I'm a lot more sluggish. And that's why it's so important for you to start taking and keeping track of how you're eating. Now, what's the point of the story? Again, it's to show you that whatever you think your 100% is, you can go a lot higher. And that is the beauty of it. And that is why this whole be better than yesterday, I want to relate that message to you, because you could always be a little bit better. You could always take yourself to the next level. Whether it's getting a little bit more sleep, whether it's drinking a little bit more water, whether it's making substitutions and additions in your diet. And the way I did it, again, don't go cold turkey, do it slowly but surely. And then eventually you cut out the grains, or eventually you do that. And now every time I introduce a grain, I feel it, because it brings me back down to my 40 miles an hour top speed. Another example is being sick. I hate being sick, because I go from being at 100% or 100 miles an hour to now 5 miles an hour. And my Ferrari doesn't like running at 5 miles an hour. I know last time you guys drove 5 miles an hour, but that is slow as molasses, and your car cannot go that slow. Or at least I know I cannot drive my car at 5 miles an hour. It's insane. And if you have a Ferrari that is meant to go fast, that I don't even know if they have a 5 miles an hour like the needle on that thing. Maybe one day I'll find out once I have it, but right now I don't even know if it has on the speedometer 5 miles an hour. So guys, little by little, small changes, whatever you're feeling right now, think of that as your 100%. Let's see if we can bump that up and change that 100% and change the standard and take you to the next level. Take it to the next level after that. And eventually, your 100% is going to be your 50%. And that's going to be your new low. And the bigger gap you create, the more health you have, the more vitality you have, the less you're getting sick. Because now instead of 40 to 0, you have a lot less playroom with the miles per hour type deal, right? And if you're right now operating your Ferrari at 100 miles an hour, you have a long way to go before you get worn out. So let's say you have a bad day at work, you have not getting enough sleep, you're having some kind of crazy stress stuff going on. It takes a while, and it kind of knocks you down a little bit, but you will not get sick. So the goal is to create so much vitality and so much health in your body that you can set a whole new level of health and energy that you will not get sick. And once you're not sick, you can do a lot more. You can enjoy more life. You can get even better than you were before. Because once you're sick, that's the only thing you're doing is fighting the sickness, and your goal is to get back to normal. Not 100%, but normal. Once you get to normal, then you start working on getting back to 100%. Hope this makes a little bit of sense. This is extremely important. I think that this is a very important aspect to portray, because it's insane what I thought was my 100% as to what I look back now. Like right now, where I'm at the point in my health and my fitness and everything else, now I'm at 100, obviously, but I could always go higher. That's the goal. But what I used to think was my 100 is now probably 30%. And for me, that's insane. That I feel like that's incredible, the type of transformation you can make, and that was only 7 years ago. So you can make a lot of changes in 1 year. You can make a lot of changes in 1 week. It's just how much change you're willing to make and how long you're willing to commit for it, and just make little improvements, little by little, every single time, and then eventually it just happens. It becomes habit. You don't think about it, and right now the lifestyle I'm leading, it's natural. It's what I don't have to think about making a healthier choice. I just do it. All right, guys, be better than yesterday. Definitely watch this video again. If it doesn't make sense, ask questions, and hopefully I'll relate it even better and then explain it, because this is very important. Be better. Take care.